What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Swole TCG. We're out here with that fire, that heat, that sauce once again, boys. Now we're with it with the pure canine combo guide. Part three. There's so many parts to this, guys, because there's like so much that you can cover. There's so many different ways and layers of interaction that we have to go over so you guys know. And I also have to go over the new combo line with the silhouette. So we got a lot to cover, so stay tuned. I'm gonna go over unique interactions. That's just gonna help you out during your matches when you come into weird spots, all right? So we're gonna cover some unique interactions when you're in weird spots. I'm also gonna cover your inboards when you're interacted with. And then also I will recover the Durandal wipe as well, and just how you should play into scenarios. For instance, like when you get Fuad, and then we are also just going to cover the just some of the fundamentals of what happens when you get interacted. So it's going to be a full guide on this, so it's going to be in depth, it's layered. If you haven't seen part 2 and if you haven't seen part 1, I highly suggest you watch the combo guide part 1. If you're a beginner, if you are a beginner to K9, go onto my channel, scroll down, you'll see K9 combo guide part 1. I pretty much read the descriptions out to you for the most part for the first couple of combos, and then from there it's just I'm showing bread and butter scenarios with what you got to do, and I also cover the locks in that video. In this video we are just going to cover some unique interactions and how to play through them with the light locks that you have, and different stuff like that. So we're going to cover things like that, and then we're also going to cover obviously the new lines with the silhouette, your inboard, and then we're going to cover inboards after you've been interacted with. So we'll cover the scenarios of what happens when you get interacted with, right? Just so you guys have layers of knowledge, so you're better prepared and you understand what to do when you go into your matches and how you should be reacting with this, okay? So we'll go ahead and jump on into that. But before we get into this video, did y'all touch grass today? I know I just dropped that K9 deck profile today, years old, all right? But did you touch grass on that video? If not, this is your wake up call right here. Go outside, all right? Go outside, touch grass, get that fresh air in, guys, because we're not just bettering ourselves mentally out here, boys. We're bettering ourselves physically, all right? So get out there, get active, stay active. You do not have to be a bodybuilder. You do not have to go to the gym and work out hard. You do not have to, you know, get this crazy body and build muscle and tone and shaping. And you don't have to do that, but you do have to be active, boys, all right? So get out there, get your steps in. It is beautiful fall weather right now, guys. So get out there, please, 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 please. It's only gonna better you, all right? It's gonna better your cardiovascular health, all right? It's gonna better your immune system because it's bettering your metabolism. They're hand in hand in the endocrine system, guys. It is science. It is literally science, boys, all right? So get out there and get active. It's also gonna help you if you have injuries, guys. If injuries are setting you back, getting fresh blood, getting that circulation going just by being active is going to help improve those injuries. Or if you're just sore, you know, maybe it's an off day for you. Maybe you're one of my Swolies, yo. Hey, and it's an off day. Swolies, you got off days. You should still be touching grass on your off days, all right? When you're sore, man, there's nothing better to get those lactic acid moving out of your body than actually moving around and being active, all right? So make sure you guys are taking your off days, you know, doing that light activity, just going out there, enjoying the outside, and, you know, just getting some steps in, man. That's it. That's all it takes. Get some steps in, get your blood flowing, and that's beautiful right there, all right? But don't forget, if it's not an off day and you just crushed your workout, even if it was a leg day, boys, and you better not be skipping your leg days, all right? That's the most important one, especially for a man, all right? Leg days are very important for a man. Believe it or not, leg days have the most chance of building natural testosterone inside of you, all right? The number one ways to build testosterone naturally in man through an exercise, all right? Proven studies here, all right, is squats and deadlifts, all right? That's leg day, boys. So don't miss your leg days. It's very important. It is very important you guys get your leg days in, all right? But after you finish your workout, guys, step on that treadmill, step on that Stairmaster, get it in, all right? Put this video on. You got a 20, 30-minute video. You're watching the video. You're into the lines. You're excited to go test play when you get back home from the gym. The moment you finish that video, your cardio's done. It is that easy. Boys, this is what I do. This is what I do every morning. I'm watching YouTube videos, man. all over the board. I'm watching people play, I'm watching interactions, I'm watching what other people are saucing up. That's what I do. So I get my creative juices flowing, all right? So guys, make sure you're staying active. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into this Pure Canine Combo Guide, part three. All right, boys, we're gonna first hop into the new combo line. I'll show you that, and then we're gonna go into the unique interactions. So for the first combo line, we're gonna go ahead and start off with our standard favorite starter here. We'll start off with a copy of Case for K9. So we'll activate a copy of Case for K9. That is going to search us for our copy of Naroi. We will then normal summon our Naroi. Naroi effect is special. That is going to go ahead and grab us our copy of Jokel. Jokel effect to add. That is going to go ahead and add us our copy of Lantern. From here, we'll go ahead and overlay these two into our copy of Ripper. We will then go ahead and activate Ripper effect here. And you could have sent this, I skipped ahead for you guys, but it doesn't matter. So say you guys misplayed like I just did right there, and I didn't Naroi look at hand, you should have done that. But you can also leave this on field too if you're not worried about your opponent's hand, just so you can get the quick play. So it's personal preference, but typically I always like to look at my opponent's hand beforehand. But Lantern effect, grab back Naroi. And say you did misplay and you didn't get to do that, you can just go ahead and do that from here. So once you're here, you can just go ahead and Naroi effects in this, and then look at your opponent's hand. Lantern effect to add. We'll go ahead and grab us our quick play. For this, we'll just go ahead and grab our release restraint. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even grab off of Ripper. Guys, I'm messing up on you. So I apologize. So for our copy of Ripper's just gonna grab us in Azuna. So we'll go ahead and grab us our copy of Azuna here, and then we'll go ahead and link these two off into our copy of Silhouette. And then Silhouette effect, we'll go ahead and set our copy of Serpent. So we have now, this is our board right here. This is without being interacted with. Guys, 10 out of 10 times you're going to be interacted with, or you're going to have more starters so you can push further. And typically what you're going to have here is going to be a more dominant board. I'm going to try to zoom out just so you guys get a better picture on the Silhouette there. So typically you're going to have them interact with you, and this is all off of one card. So please keep that in mind. Typically you're going to have like 2 to 3 starters in hand, roughly. So off of one Case for K9, what we have here is a Ripper on board. We looked at our opponent's hand. We have a Silhouette Rabbit with a Serpent that on our opponent's draw phase, we'll set the Deity for an Omni Negate. We have an Azuna in hand, and then we also will be setting a copy of our Force Release. All right, so that's off of one copy, one single card inside our hand. So this is pretty crazy because then we can Azuna on our opponent's turn. So this was off of all one card right there, and I kind of sped through that, but essentially, that's just what one Case for K9 is. That's your setup with the Silhouette. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you a little bit more layered board on what I typically end on with this deck. So we'll go ahead and backtrack here now. We're going to just go over a couple of basic lines before we get into the unique scenarios here. So we'll go ahead and do we'll just say a Case and a Naroi here. This is all very dependent on what your opponent has in their hand. We'll just have a copy of Case for K9, and Naroi. We'll go ahead and activate Case for K9. Now, what I would do, since I have Naroi in hand, typically what you do is go ahead and grab Azuna. I'm going to go ahead and just show you about, we're just going to go ahead and say our opponent interacts with us on this one. So I'll show you what happens when your opponent interacts. All right, and we just have these 2 cards. So we'll grab a Case for K9. We will say, let's say here, we'll say our opponent drolled us, okay? So if our opponent drolled us here, we'll go ahead and normal summon our Naroi effect. We'll go ahead and grab our Jokel here. From here, we will go ahead and overlay these two into our copy of Ripper.
Now we'll go ahead and activate Azuna effect. Azuna effect to dump. That will drop us our copy of Lupus, if I can find him. There he is. So we'll send our copy of Lupus to the grave, Lupus effect to special. And then from now, we'll go ahead and overlay these two into our copy of Nash Knight. And then Nash Knight effect. Nash Knight will go ahead and attach our copy of 104. We will then go ahead and rank up our guy into XYZ Nash. We'll activate his effect, sending our copy of Nash Knight. Very important, guys. Do not send your 104. Don't be a bot. And that is going to rank us up into our C104 here. So on summon C104 effect, we'll go ahead and pop our copy of A Case for K9. Case for K9 effect, we will go ahead and set our quick play. So where's our quick play? Forced. So we'll go ahead and set a copy of Forced. Now keep in mind, we also still have 3 cards in hand. All right. So depending on what those other 3 cards are, we could have gone into Solo Hat most likely. We could have had Solo Hat plus all that. Maybe we even had one the quick play. Maybe we got Tikaboo inside our hand as well. Or maybe these are just 3 hand traps. Who knows? But that was off of just 2 cards and we got drolled, right? And those are standard 2 cards that we typically always see in our hand. We'll always see like a Case. We'll always see like an Azuna. We'll always have like a Noroi. Those are typically always going to be in our hand. So like that is off of a standard cards that you would have in your hand. That was 2 cards just in your hand. You have C104 on field. You got Ripper on field. You have a set Force and you have 3 cards in hand. All right. So, and that's off of being drolled. So keep in mind, this was all off of being drolled. Like that's insane to have this kind of an inboard after being drolled, right? So, and you could have probably pushed further with depending on what the other 3 cards were inside your hand. So off of being drolled, that's what we had. We'll go ahead and show another line on how you play full inboards through like a Fua. So Fua, you can typically give them like 3 draws on Fua, and that's fine. It's not going to really do much. It just depends on how you want to layer it and what they're playing, whether I'm going to give them the draws or not. So we'll just go ahead and do a copy of A Case for K9 here for this one and just demonstrate what happens through Fua. So we'll activate A Case for K9. We'll go ahead and grab our copy of Noroi. What I've been noticing is a lot of people don't really draw phase, activate Fua. They typically wait for the summon. So Noroi effect, deactivate Fua here, all right? You're like, all right, cool. So from here, we'll go ahead and bring out Jokul. We'll go ahead and activate Jokul effect. We already know that deactivated a card here, which is awesome for us. So that just tells me I'm just gonna grab Azuna here. So you're just grabbing a copy of Azuna because you know Azuna's alive, and that's 2 bodies for you without giving them extra summons. Then from here, we don't really need to look at our opponent's hand here because they're going to continue to draw, so it's kind of a waste. So we can just go ahead and overlay these guys, get into our copy of Ripper, and then we'll go ahead and detach the Noroi to activate Ripper's effect here. So now they have 2 draws right now. And we'll go ahead and grab us a copy of Forced to set and a copy of Lantern out of hand. So we'll be now setting a copy of our Forced release. We'll add the Lantern to hand. We'll go ahead and activate Lantern effect, targeting the Noroi. We'll activate Lantern effect again here to add us a copy of the other quick play, release restraint. Then from here, before we do anything further, what we're going to go ahead and do is activate Azuna. summon Azuna, Azuna effect the dump. Dump your Lupus. Lupus effect the special. And now what we can do here is go ahead and take Lantern, and we'll go ahead and take our Azuna, link them off into our copy of Silhouette. That puts them on 3 draws. Silhouette effect is set. Set our Serpent. Now from here, what we can do, if we don't want to give them any more draws, now keep in mind guys, I want you to realize this, we still have 3 other cards in hand. So we're going to be setting this obviously. So this is what we have right now. So what we can do here is we can go ahead and activate Naroi effect, send a copy of a case for K9 to look at our opponent's hand. Now we know what they have off of those 3 draws that they got, and we can decide what we want to do from there. All right, whether we want to give them the extra draw, or we can just leave the Lupus on board with the Naroi, and then just on their turn we can quick effect Xyz. So, and that's very powerful, just having it already in fact, because we still haven't summoned them. So we use his effect, the quick effect Xyz. We can still summon them from grave later just to provide us with extra coverage and follow-up. We still have 3 other cards in hand, and these are most likely going to be hand traps or another layers of interruption. And then we obviously have the release restraint, the serpent, and the force release. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 interruptions, 8, 9, 10 interruptions technically. And I mean, this is technically 2 because it's going to bring it out, trigger this to pop, and then it's going to bring out your other deity, because on your draw phase you bring him out, and then you're going to be setting your copy of the deity. Where are you, deity? Oh, I put it inside the hand here. So then you're going to be setting your copy of the deity, and then you obviously have like 3 other cards in hand. It doesn't matter what it is in your hand. So this right here is your typical inboard. This is off of a Fua, all right? So them Fuaing you, you gave them 3 draws. You looked at their hand, so you're gonna know where to interact properly, and it's just gonna be very easy for you to play through. You also have most likely non-engine in your hand as well. So you have almost 12 interruptions for whatever hand you have. So they probably have 7 cards in hand when they start. So that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine with me. Now we'll go ahead and show you guys some unique lines here. This is going to be something and why Princess is so prevalent to have inside your extra deck. And this came up for me quite a bit because, as you know, Jokul does lock you. So we'll just try to recreate a scenario here for you guys. So it comes up. So we have, so we summon out the Naroi here. And we'll say we started with a copy of Case. All right, so we'll say that we started with a copy of Case. We grabbed ourselves a Naroi, and there was also an Azuna in hand. And then we go ahead and normal summon the Naroi and de-ash it. Okay. So now our Azuna is live. This literally happened. So my Azuna is live. I think I had 3 other non-engine in hand at the time. So I'll just put in some non-engine here for you guys. I think I literally did have Tikaboo when this happened. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We'll just pretend non-engine. But de-ash this. I activate Azuna effect to special. Azuna effect on summon to dump. That goes through. Dump Lupus. Lupus effect to special. And then from here, I got hit with Fualos. All right. So I got Fuad here, or I had Droll in hand. I'm sorry. This is why I wanted to show you. I had Droll in hand. Droll's in my extra deck though. So 1 second, boys. This is what I want to show you because I want to show you how to Durendal hand wipe when you're light locked here. So I overlay these 2 into our copy of Ripper. And then we'll go ahead and Ripper effect here. And that's gonna go ahead and grab us our copy of Lantern and set us our copy of Forced Release. Sets us our copy of Forced Release. Now from here, we activate Lantern effect, target Azuna to bring him out. And then I activate Lantern effect here to grab our other quick play. Now what we have here is we can't go into Durandal here. Why? Because when the interrupted this, right, and Azuna was my only play, Azuna was the only way to get into Durandal because you're not light locked. Right now, I am currently light locked because Lantern and Azuna were not summoned properly here. Okay, I did have another Canine Engrave. I can't remember the exact board, but I did have another Canine Engrave. I can't remember how I had the other Canine Engrave. But we're just going to pretend there's another Canine Engrave. We'll pretend there is a Joko Engrave or something. I can't remember the exact scenario. I just wanted to show you guys the basis on this, on how it comes up, all right? So when you're light locked, all right? So how you do it when you're light locked, it's kind of hard to reenact it off of a 1-card starter because I had multiple starters in my hand when this happened. And it was just, I got stopped on the Noroi, and then I got Fuad, and then I already used my Azuna effect, right? So I summon out Lantern here. Lantern, you're obviously light locked. We grabbed our copy of Release Restraint. We know we have Droll in hand, so we know we want to go for the Durandal line, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna set your Release Restraint. Now keep in mind, you wanna set as much as you can and summon as much as you can, all right? When you summon as much as you can and set as much as you can, you need at least Droll and 1 other card in hand, okay? So you need Droll and at least 1 other card in hand, and then you're gonna set whatever else you have before you go into these plays, okay? So then what you're gonna do is, since you're light locked right now with the Azuna and the Lantern, you're gonna go ahead and overlay these two into your Princess. And then you're gonna go ahead and activate Princess effect to bring back your copy of Jokul. Now your Noroi isn't under any restrictions. He was stopped, and his restrictions only on the monster he summons out. We never summoned a monster out. So there's no restrictions on him. There's no restrictions on your Jokul, okay? So you have these out right now. And the moment you bring this out, you just gave him a second draw, okay? Now what you can do here is, if you want to, you can go ahead and activate Noroi effect here and look at your opponent's hand. And if you do that, then, you know, you see what they have in hand, you know if they're going to interrupt you or not, but then you're just going to go ahead and overlay these two into your copy of Durandal because you're no longer light locked. The moment you summon them out, on resolution of the draw, you're going to go Chainlink 1 Durandal, and then Chainlink 2 Droll, okay? So when you do this, it's going to resolve backward and resolve as much as possible. You had 1 card in your hand, all right? So you're under Droll now. You're going to shuffle back your card in hand. They're going to shuffle back their whole entire hand, and now they're under that. So then keep in mind, guys, I literally just started this off with 1 card. So you have 4 cards in hand, all right? You originally had 4 cards in hand, okay? So whatever you're setting, that's why we set this card. We just put the other cards out. So you set that. You had the Droll in the hand, you had the Imperm, whatever, and then we set the Tikaboo or something. You still have, you just hand wipe these guys. This is how crazy Durandal is. You just hand wipe them. You have Release Restraint, Forced Release. You have a Monster Spell and Trap, or a Monster Spell, Normal Spell Negate with the Durandal as well. You have your Princess on board. You have a Ripper for the follow-up. You have 2 quick plays, and then whatever non-engine you also set off of that. And that's how you beat the light lock. So Princess helps you beat the light lock, guys. So that's something that I really wanted to get across with you guys. That's very important for you guys to realize. Now we'll go ahead and we'll show a test hand for you guys. This deck was organized beforehand for the deck profile, so we need to give it a quick power shuffle. But I'm just going to show you guys a test hand too, just so you guys can see how you work with the new deck and how you can full combo with it. And then we'll pretend if they interact with us or not. Start shuffling this around the camera. Quick power shuffle, quick power shuffle, quick power shuffle. I apologize for any background sounds you guys may hear on this video. I am a family man with a dog and a kid. And I don't have my mic operational just yet, so I do apologize. Oh yeah, I had the random drill. The drill was in the extra deck, so let's go ahead and take that out. All right, so once she's all shuffled, we go ahead and give it a cut. And we'll do our first 5 cards here. We got an Ash, we got a Perulia, Called By, Lupus, and Talons. Yo, this is not bad hand for going first, all right? But we're gonna wipe that hand, or going second. We're gonna wipe that hand. You draw face, who are you? Just go crazy, King. We're gonna wipe that hand and just give it a shuffle. Try this again. This deck goes really well when it goes second. This is why it goes well when it goes second. Like, look at this hand. Look at that. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of hands that I see. Like, right here. All right, the first hand was fake. I had to give it a little extra shuffle. But you got a Perulia and a Fuelis. This is pretty much Max C together. All right, so if you're going second, you got Max C, you got Nash, and then you got Joko and Disciplaster. That's pretty wild. So from here, what you're going to do, so we'll go ahead and put the non-engine to the side. So we have Joko and Disciplaster. We'll go ahead and Joko effect, special out him and Disciplaster. We'll go ahead, Joko effect to add. Add our copy of Noroi here. We'll go Noroi effect, or normal summon Noroi effect to special. And that's gonna go ahead and bring out our copy of Lantern. We'll go ahead and activate Lantern effect. Grab us our copy of Case for K9. Activate our copy of the Case for K9. And that is gonna go ahead and grab us our copy of Lantern. From here, we'll go ahead and activate Noroi effect to look at our opponent's hand. Bro has nothing, that's cool. Then we're gonna go ahead and we need to use the Lantern because we're currently XYZ locked because of the Lantern. He was summoned off the Noroi. So we'll just go ahead and overlay these two into our copy of Ripper. And then we'll go ahead and activate our Ripper effect. And we're gonna go ahead and grab us our copy of Forced Release. Now that we have our copy of Force Released, and we already went through Lantern's effect, this is all we have in hand right now. So what we can do here, you have a couple of options. One, we can keep the Disciplaster lock by summoning out Princess. We can use Princess, we can summon out Princess using these two right here. We detach the Disciplaster, and then we can summon out the Disciplaster again off of Princess. So it just gives us an extra rank 5 on board, and Princess secondary effect to special a level 5 also can come up. So just having the extra additional body there is kind of nice. And then you can still keep your Disciplaster lock. So you can do it that way, so you keep the Disciplaster in rotation, or you can just use this to go into Nash. So it's up to you on how you want to do it. You can do either or and do the whole C104 package, but we still want to get to our big kill here. So what we're going to do is, if you link him away though, you're going to lose your Disciplaster. So that's why I'd rather just rank him up. So these guys are going to be used for rank up. To link summon, we'll just go ahead and do Lantern, target Joko. Bring both of these guys out, then we'll go ahead and link summon. We already looked at our opponent hand. Naturally, once you see your opponent's hand, things might change, right? We might do something completely different. It's all depending on your opponent's hand. So you guys got to take that into consideration when we're running these lines. This deck performs better when you're interacted with, all right? As I just shown you in a combo previously, it's 20 times better when you interact with, when your opponent interacts with you, and you also play differently after you see your opponent's hand. But still had effect on summon. We'll go ahead and set us our copy of Serpent. And then from here, we can go ahead and overlay these two. And this is where you can flex depending on what you want to do. So me personally, I like the Disciplaster lock. I like having it live, plus he can scale himself too. And it came up before. So, and the reason why this works, guys, is you just need a 5 engrave for this to work. So you don't have to target the 5, it happens on resolution, but you have to have a 5 engrave in order for the effect to work, all right? So since we have a 5 engrave and we detach the Disablaster, we can go ahead and use her effect to bring back the Disablaster. So we still keep the Princess on board, so we just have extra protection, extra layer, and then we still have the Disablaster lock. Now, the really cool thing that I want you guys to also know, this is another fun fact about the Disablaster and why it's so good, is when you have it here, your opponent's gonna be playing around. The naturally is literally psychology here. So like when you see all your monsters on this side, typically opponents start playing on this side. They know Disablaster is negating the effects of this column. What's the next column that they go to? They go into the pendulum column, all right? They typically will put monsters in this pendulum column, and that is crucial for you guys to know and crucial for you guys to see. If you see them putting monsters in this column or the other pendulum column, you need to pay attention to that, because typically if they're playing a link strategy, they're going to try to get into battle phase and crash over your Disablaster. But when he's destroyed, he can scale himself. So you can negate a pendulum column. All right, so say they're scared of the summon in this column right here, or maybe they're summoning over there. They're just worried with all the monsters over there. Typically, they're gonna, psychologically, they're gonna wanna go away from the side of the monsters, so they'll summon over here, and it does come up. If they destroyed this, you put it in this pendulum column, whatever monster there is now gonna be negated, all right? So, and that's very cool, and that is a unique scenario that happened against a Dracotail player. They summoned their Secretarian Dragon over there. They crashed over the Disablaster, and then I put it in this column, and they tried to use Secretarian's effect, and then it was negated. It resolved negated because of Disablaster. So that is a fun fact that you guys also need to be aware of. Now, that being said, this is our M board. We have an Ash. We have Charmies that do nothing for us on this situation, but we have an Ash here. We have 1-2 with Force. We have 3-4 with Serpent. The Syl will have Pop. We have Princess for extra protection. We have Disablaster, and Disablaster will also scale itself, so he's like 2 interruptions. We have the Ripper, and then obviously he's going to get ranked up from the release. So, and then 3 non-engine here. So that was all off of one hand without getting interrupted. With interruption, we would have 2 quick plays as well. And that would just been absolutely insane. So, and I think that pretty much covers the unique scenarios that I wanted to go over with you and how this interruptions work. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys know any other cool lines or cool texts, and share your thoughts and share your sauce, guys. Let's keep growing.
All right, boys, I hope you enjoyed that Pure Canine combo guide. If you guys have questions, you have comments, you have ideas, if you have other lines of play, hit them in the comments, guys, because if you guys have noticed right now, our comments are going crazy. People are starting to show their sauce. They're sharing their sauce. We're developing ideas together. There is no such thing as a stupid idea. Well, there is, but you know what? You never know. Maybe that stupid idea is actually a really creative and intelligent one, especially answering the meta right now. You know, and people are sleeping on that idea. So guys, make sure you're not sleeping on the comment section. Hit up that comment section. You see somebody saucing up, sauce up with them, guys. Yo, we're sharing sauces out here, all right? We're sharing the pepper, we're sharing the chili cheese, we're mixing it together and creating this new meta combination that is gonna be a threat, all right? So this is the community that we're building out here, and it's beautiful, guys. It is so beautiful. I'm so happy and proud. Rip, enough. Come here right now. You just interrupted my ending of my video. Come here. I brought you in here so you wouldn't bark and interrupt. Guys, if you ever get a dash hound, they're gonna eat everything. Rue, that's enough. Let's keep it PG. Hey, we're keeping it PG on here. It's enough. You're way too handsome. Put your teeth away. So, anyways, guys, make sure you guys are sharing your information inside that comment section, all right? We want to keep that information flowing. We want to keep it flowing. So, guys, when you are out there, all right, and you have your friends, you have your family, you have, you know, people at your locals that are creative. Maybe they're looking for inspiration, whether it's physically or mentally, and you just want some advice. Send them the link, drop the link, all right? Send them to the channel, all right? We're out here bending ourselves mentally and physically, boys. So make sure you guys are sharing the link, and let's keep growing this awesome community, guys. We're almost to our first goal of 500 subscribers. Super excited about that. We just started this YouTube channel not too long ago, and we're already almost there. It just shows the value that this community is bringing. It just shows how much creation and like just unique ideas that we're actually providing. And the community acknowledges that. We're all acknowledging, we're all seeing it. And you know, we're feeding off of each other in here. So it's beautiful, and I love this. And I love the fact that we can do this and come up with these meta-capable threats that people just aren't thinking of or sleeping on. And that is just so cool to me. So let's keep growing this community. Let's keep bringing it up. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, guys, I'm very excited for that because I will be doing Discords for each individual archetype that is meta relevant, meta impactful. And we can go over there and actually discuss further in detail, not just on the comment section of these videos, but so we can also just discuss with each other and collaborate, you know, so we don't have to go back to a video and kind of comment on there to link with each other. We can all just have it right there in the Discord page. So that's going to be really awesome. That'll be a goal once we get to 1,000. But once we get to 500, guys, we're going to do our first giveaway on the channel. And to me, the first 500 subscribers, I feel like that's a special number because, you know, that's the people that instantly saw the value. You know, we don't have, you know, yeah, we got some tops, right? But we don't have dubs on this channel, right? We don't have dubs yet on this channel, not like official dubs. Well, we got a couple dubs, but like I'm talking big dubs, you know, regional dubs, YCS dubs. We don't have that on the channel just yet, but we will. 100%, guys. You see what we're growing out here. I promise you, we are going to definitely get that, especially in December. I'm winning this regional in December, boys. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna win this regional in December with Pure K9. All right, so we can come back to this video and we're gonna watch it again. And I'm either gonna be very embarrassed or I'm gonna be like, I told you guys what happened. Yo, so that's coming up very soon. That's coming up very soon. So we're gonna have dubs on this channel, and this channel is gonna keep growing. But you guys see the value. You guys see what we're growing already in this first 500 subscribers, and that's really special. You know, the fact that we see what's coming. You know, so. That being said, I want to make sure that we do a cool giveaway. We'll do a separate video for it. And, you know, we're not just going to do one winner. I already decided we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 winners. All right. So we're going to do 3 winners overall for a giveaway. I'm figuring out what I'm going to do for the different giveaways. And it's just going to be a fun little thing we do once we hit that mark. And we're already almost there. We're like 50 away now. So it's pretty cool that we're right there. So very excited to do that for you guys. Very excited to keep growing this community that we have. It's awesome. And I love you all. I love all the support you give. I love everybody that's feeding me the sauce. You know, I'm going back to my old videos, responding to comments on old videos, you know, saucing up from Fiendsmith Primite builds to the K9 Fiendsmith builds. Huge shout out to you guys. You guys provide me with info. And you know what? That's why this channel's so unique. I can't say it enough because you know what? I see these thoughts, like I see all this creation, you know, I'm starting to throw this together, right? And you guys are like, oh, I didn't think of that, right? But then some of y'all are coming back to me and be like, hey, yo, did you think about doing this, this, and this? And I'm like, I didn't even think about doing that. So this is where it's coming. You know, we're all human, you know, so we all have our own ways of thinking, our own ideas. And that's what makes this community beautiful, is because those creative ideas on my side that you're not seeing, you're sharing your creative ideas that I'm not seeing. And together we're making this something that's actually going to be devastating into the meta. And that's what's so awesome and so unique, having that communication all in one spot. And that's what we're building here. And that's so cool. It's so awesome. And I'm so excited to keep growing this and hopefully get better video quality. I got my minor edits right now, but eventually we'll keep growing the setup. I'll have a better mic. I had to get an adapter for my mic because I got the wrong connection for the mic piece for my phone. So I'll have a better adapter for my mic here, guys, and we'll keep growing it. We'll keep making these videos better quality, and just better communication all around. It's going to be awesome, guys. So I appreciate all of you that have been involved so far and all the people that are continuing to evolve with this channel. So it's awesome. And with that being said, guys, we got a lot on the way. K9 Fiendsmith is next up on the plate because one of our members, like I said, one of our members on the channel was like, yo, dude, you know you can bridge this, right? I was like, no, I did not. I did not. And he had the sauce, boys. He had the sauce. So, yo, shout out to you. I think his name was, his channel name was Georgie, or his YouTube name was Georgie something. I gotta look at it again because I want to give you credit for it. I want to shout you out on here because he came up, I had no idea. I didn't think you could bridge Fiendsmith. I didn't think you could do it without having like extra cards and you had a hard draw them. But you can literally start off with a copy of a case for K9 and go into Fiendsmith combo. So I cannot wait to share that. So I have to recook my deck list. We're gonna cut out a lot of the Fiendsmith cards. So now we can play more non-injured, we can play more K9 cards. And this is gonna be saucy. And I think Pure's right here, but now originally my build for K9 Fiendsmith, I would say was here compared to Pure is probably like in 3rd spot, 4th spot for decks. With like probably I would say K9 Azamina is definitely up there. Just the consistency, the way it plays, and that may just be my own personal preference, just because I know those engines very, 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 very well, and I know how to bait interactions very well with that engine. So that's a little bit higher of a tier. Although I love Fiendsmith, there wasn't. You kind of had it sucked the way I had it, just because you had to kind of fight for normal summons, which is always an issue with my Primite Fiendsmith build. You fight whether you're summoning at their barrel or you're summoning Lacrima. Is the same thing with the K9. It's like you're fighting to summon Noroi or you're fighting to summon Lacrima. So, and I hate having to choose that. That's why I always keep to the rule of only having 6 normal summons in a deck. And it's fine and it works. It's okay. It's good. But having a bridge and being able to flex into more non-engine and just give you better coverage overall for consistency is always huge. So that's why I'm really excited about this, because now that takes that K9 Fiendsmith that was originally down here, and honestly with the bridge, it kind of pushes it just above K9 Azamina. And so I would say Pure is still the best right now, without a doubt. Just the consistency, the recursion, the grind game of Pure, the build that I put out to you guys, I can't tell you how phenomenal. I truly believe that was the best deck in the room. I wasn't afraid of anything. I 2-0'd pretty much everybody. And Yummy Mitsurugi pile, it was a Triff pile that got me. And I made a couple of misplays on there. I already told you guys about it in the deck profile. But besides that, I mean, it just ate through everything. It layered interruption is just, there's so many layers of interruption with that deck. So it's just, Pure K9's very up there, but now with the flexibility of the K9, I always love dual engine decks. I think that is very unique, and it forces your opponent to interact weird when you have 2 engines, because now they're scared. They don't know what you have. But with Pure, you know, they know your lines, and it's like, do you have the extender? Which is okay, because I want people to interact with me with Pure. So, but that's cool though. But anyways, with that being said, guys, K9 Fiendsmith is definitely now a higher tier. It is almost on par with Pure K9 because of this bridge, and it's very awesome, and you can protect yourself through nib, and it's so much layered now. So I'm very excited to cook this up. I have the perfect ratios for this now, and now I don't have to play such a heavy Fiendsmith package in there per se. I can use a slight Fiendsmith package and then have my K9 bridge into it, which is exactly what I wanted to do from the start. So I'm very excited to bring this to you guys. It's coming very soon. Let me know in the comments. I do not have 2 of the cards that I needed for it, obviously, which are the bridge pieces, which are like 30-cent cards. I'm now waiting in the mail for TCG players. So if you guys want me to go ahead and do it as soon as possible and put this video out for K9 Fiendsmith, let me know in the comment section. I will put it out as soon as I can. I'll do proxies for you guys, just so you guys know what the cards are and you guys can see it in action, and I can just already cook it up for you. Or if you want me to just wait for the cards to come in, I'm assuming it'll probably be in by the end of the week, most likely, because I actually got them from good stores. But still, 30-cent cards. Every time you order like a $1 card from TCG Player, I feel like it takes forever to get here. I mean, I was waiting like 2 weeks for those go giga ga 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 commons. So, you know, who knows? Who knows? So I think I'll just do proxies for you guys. If you guys are cool with that, let me know in the comments, and I'll go ahead and post out that Pure K9, K9 Fiendsmith deck profile, and I'll go over the combo guide after the fact and show you guys how you bridge into it with a copy of Case for K9. That's it. That's all you need. And you got Fiendsmith combo. That's crazy. It's crazy. So I can't wait to show you guys that. Lots on the way, and we're going to keep cooking up. And I appreciate all of you again, and stay tuned. We got a lot on the way.